In addition to just animating post-process effects, you can also turn them on or off by volume or area. So, for example, we have this simple scene here where we're walking into the building. Now, when we get into the building, maybe we want some different post-process effects to take place. Well, we can do that using a volume. So I already have this set up. I have a post-processing object attached. And if we open that up, if I turn on is global, you can see that this kind of darkens the scene a little bit. And we also add in some ambient occlusions. Now I've hyped up the contrast on this effect so you can see how it works a little bit more clearly. In the real world, it would probably be much more of a subtle effect. Now, if I wanted to, I could animate the weight of this up or down to change it. But what if I didn't really know exactly when I was going to be in that building? So I'm going to go ahead and switch off is global. Now, at this point, it's going to look for a volume. Now, I create that volume by adding in a collider. So I'm going to keep this post-processing object selected. We're going to add a component. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this, and we're going to go down to physics. And we want to select one of these colliders. In this case, I'm just going to select a box collider. And when I do that, it creates a simple box. So I'm going to scale this box up. And then I'm going to place it inside that front door. And if I want to, I can scale it a little bit more just to make sure it kind of fills up the space of this room a little bit. I don't have to be too precise here. Just as long as the camera falls within that volume, I should be okay. So now I have this volume, and it's attached to that collider. Now we can see it here, but we can't see it in the game display. Now when I select my post-processing object, it will now use that volume because it's attached. So all I have to do now is just scrub along the timeline. And when my camera hits that, there we go. It changes. Now, if I want that blend to be a little bit more soft, I can select my post-processing object and we can just type in a blend distance. Let's say type in a distance of, say, 3. Now, when I go back to this, you can see how it starts to darken before it gets in. If I want to, I can make that down just a little bit. Let's go ahead and make it 2. And maybe you can see a little bit more clearly. So now the effect is totally on here and it's off here. So this gives me the ability to change my post-processing depending upon where I am in the scene. And it's great for really tweaking the color correction and lighting of specific areas in your game, in your scene, or in your visualization.